Hello, Waypoint friends. Here we are on the doorstep of the holidays. Thanksgiving, Christmas, they're just around the corner. And it's known as the most wonderful time of the year. And in some ways, it is the most wonderful time of the year. We're more intentional about time with family, about the things that we do and the way we spend our time, and we're a little more focused during this season. So it can be wonderful. It also can be very stressful. So for some people, it's the most stressful time of the year. And we react to these things differently. And I was reading a scripture, Psalm 27. I was impressed with some thoughts about how we might approach this season in an intentional way. So I want to share with this passage with you, and then also some insights that I gleaned from a wise person. Psalm 27, beginning with verse 4, says this: "One thing I asked of the Lord, this is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to seek him in his temple." It's a beautiful passage. And I recently heard an insight from a wise teacher, Crystal Kardakian, and she taught about what does this mean in our, for instance, digital age, when everything moves so fast. And in this holiday time that we're coming into, everything can move so fast, and we can get so caught up in the frenzy that we need a reminder to be intentional about our time. And so as she gave these reflections, I share them back with you as well. So the scripture says, "This is what I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life." You know, in our social media, digital age, when we're all in such a hurry, we don't always stop to dwell. Sometimes we visit, and even at that, it's pretty brief. And then the psalmist goes on to say, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord. And if you think about scrolling through social media, we don't always gaze. Pretty much we glance. But the invitation is to gaze. And then to seek him in his temple. Again, if you think about your Facebook feed or Instagram or anything else that you have on your digital media, you think about, well, we scroll. We scroll pretty fast through that stuff. And as I've thought about those differences, I want to encourage us in our time when we're so frenzied and hurried, and we're so used to being in a rush and just giving things a quick look and a quick pass. Take some time in this season to remember the words of Psalm 27. Take some time for this one thing to seek, to dwell. Dwell with the Lord. Not just a quick visit, but carve out a space to sit with him, to gaze. It's easy to give a passing glance. But is it possible in these next several weeks to actually sit down and imagine gazing on the Lord and seeing his beauty? And then finally, seeking him. We scroll by so fast. But in this time, when we give thanks, when we remember the coming of Christ as a babe, we think about how the wise men did seek him. I encourage you, take time to seek him. This is how we find the greatest treasure in this season of the year. That can be the most wonderful time for your soul, for your heart. Dwell and gaze and seek and know the blessing of God. Happy holidays.